guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy holidays, happy winter solstice, happy great conjunction. So we have so many things happening right now. Let's get into it. What does this mean for us? What could we do to raise our vibrations to really help this time come in and make those transformations happen that we all need?
Low bass, fat, baby, tap in. Tap, tap, tap.
So the age of the Aquarius has started. It's been here for some time, but we've kind of been in like a shadow period where like when Mercury goes retrograde, we've heard, okay, now it goes direct, but we still have like a shadow period that happens before we start to actually feel the changes, right? Now we're going to start to feel those changes happening in a way bigger way. So what does this mean? We're going to start to see major differences happening in the way that we communicate with each other, the dynamics that we have together, and we're going to move away from the duality way of thinking. So when I say the duality way of thinking, it's like mine and yours, right? It's good and bad, very like black and white type of thing. So when we're looking at the age of the Aquarius, we're going to start to see a lot more polyamorous relationships coming forward. So the reason why this is because we start to look at us all as a whole and as a collective. It becomes less about being possessive and feeling like this is mine, that's mine, I need to hold on to it. And it becomes more about you're your own person, but we are all in this together. It's all about love and truth and that type of thing. So it's going to be a lot more fluidity happening. There's going to be a lot of changes in the way that we view things, the way that we communicate. There's going to be major innovations in the way that social media is working, and it's going to be a lot more about community. Like the age of the Aquarius in general, they're going to be it's more collective, right? It's all for the greater good. Everything's for the greater good. So a good example of this is a new app called social media app called Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse, I'm looking for an invite, so think of me. Okay, so Clubhouse is a really good example for the changes that are coming into place, right? So Clubhouse is an app that is not based on how people look. It's not about it's very raw and authentic, right? So it's kind of like you have conversations with people and in a chat room, and I don't have it, so I'm giving you my understanding of it. So it's more of a chat room kind of thing, podcast communication type of platform, which means that it's going to be way more authentic. It's not going to be like, okay, let me go look at this page because it looks appealing. It's going to be, let me go check this out because this information is valuable. Let me go check this out because I like the way that this person communicates. I like the information that I get here. So it's going to be about that. It's not going to be like superficial. We're going to go more into a place there. It's about authenticity. It's more about truth. It's more about what's real. It's about, you know, the things that matter. So I'm super excited for that. You know, this thing that we're in where it's about, you know, you do anything for the gram and that type of thing. I don't think that is beneficial, and it's not beneficial. We've seen it been detrimental to a lot of people. So it's going to be about how can we collectively make things better for a community, for us as a whole. And that's what this age is going to be about. So some of the things to do in order for us to go into this with grace and it be a beneficial, smooth transition. It's going to be difficult because we're moving away from mine and yours and, you know, that possessive type of mindset like I talked about. And now we're going to be going closer into collective and whole, and you're me and I am you and that type of thing, which is beautiful. But it's a difficult mindset to have because it's very different from what we have been experiencing for so long. So a good way to help yourself with this is to focus on your happiness. And that sounds really simple, and it's kind of like, how does that even make sense? But you want to focus on your happiness. A lot of times we do things because we're trying to please somebody else, right? It's not going to be about what can I do so that way my life is going to be simpler because that person's happy. We don't want to do that, because when we do that, we're not living in our truth. And by us doing that, we're not truly even giving fulfillment to that other person. What's happening is we're pacifying them, and we're not allowing them to also live in their truth, to accept what's real from what isn't real. It's not real. You don't want to do that, so don't do it. Do the things that make you happy. Do the things that make you feel fulfilled. And I'm not saying don't take care of your responsibilities. I'm saying make sure that you're living in your truth. Make sure that you are fulfilling yourself. Because when you fulfill yourself and you're happy, you're now uplifting everybody else at the same time. So the other thing, just so we can look at this in an energetic way, is when we're happy, we vibrate at a very fast frequency, right? If we look at kids, we can actually see it happen in them. So when we look at kids, they bounce up and down when they're happy, right? When we're not happy, we move slow, we're lethargic. So energy moves in the same way. So when we're happy, our energy is very active, it moves a lot, we're able to get more done, we're able to attract more in. It's just beneficial. If we're moving at a slow frequency, we are now not able to attract more in. We're holding on to more baggage and yucky stuff that we don't need. So we want to stay away from those things. We want to move within our truth. We want to make sure that we're fulfilling ourselves. And by us doing that, we're going to raise the collective. So it's not about being selfish, but at the same time, you know, you got to take care of yourself first. So that way everybody else is good. Okay, so the next thing that's important is that we want to make sure that we're living in our purpose. So that's a difficult thing to do. We all want to figure out what our purpose is. We all want to live in our purpose, but it's like, okay, well, how do I find out what my purpose is, right? So you want to go ahead and you want to look at the things that you did that you were passionate about when you were young. What was it that you did when you were young that made you feel really good, that made you feel invigorated? Maybe somewhere along the line, someone told you wasn't good at it, or maybe you wasn't good at it, or maybe someone told you that it wasn't good for you to do. Whatever the case is, if you're passionate about something and it makes you feel happy, it makes you feel fulfilled, that's the thing that you should be doing. And if you're not good at it, you will get good at it because you're passionate about it. So make sure you're doing the things that you're passionate about. It'll help you find your purpose. It'll help you get closer to what you want to accomplish in the grand scheme of things. You want to also start to take in more experiences and cut off the consumption of things. So for instance, we want to watch less TV, and if we're on social media, we want to be taking in the things that are nourishing for our soul. A lot of times we're on Instagram or on, you know, Facebook or whatever, or YouTube. I don't know. I know for me, I make sure that I'm looking at things that help nourish me, that help me feel fulfilled, and isn't just like a waste of time. A lot of times we end up just like browsing and doing these things that aren't actually beneficial to us. It's kind of like, okay, you're just looking here and looking there, and what's happening is it's taking away from you. You're getting distracted. You start to now think about this thing and that thing, and you know, it's not you. You're just taking on other people's stuff. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you're limiting the intake, your consumption, and you're taking in the things that are going to be nourishing for you. Nourishment doesn't just come from food. Nourishment comes from people, experiences, traveling. That's a big thing. So us being able to travel when we're in different places and different environments, we're stimulated differently. We think differently. We can behave differently because these different places have different energies and different experiences and all that stuff. So you want to experience more of yourself so you can find your true self. That's the whole point. When we find our truth, that's when we're able to walk in our passion. That's when we're able to walk in our purpose. That's when we're able to help raise the collective, raise ourselves. That's what it really continues to always boil down to. Okay, so as you guys know, one of the things that's really big for me is to practice my spirituality and practice, you know, my energy working in a very physical way. So one of the things that I'm going to do to help bring in this transformational energy is I'm going to actually take some snow, obviously clean snow. Like I have snow in my backyard that's been untouched. So I'm going to take some clean snow. That's very important. Make sure it's clean. So I'm going to take some clean snow and I'm going to add that to you can add it to your bath water. I'm going to put some for my bath water and I'm going to put some for my floor wash. So when we look at snow, when we look at rain, and we look at any of these things, these are waters that are essentially, they're blessed, right? So they're water that at one point in time, it was dirty, it evaporated. The universe, God, all of it has gone ahead and cleansed that water and has put it through a process which cleaned it, and now it's going to bring it back down to us, which is nourishment. It can't get any better. It's like God's water, right? So this water is also carrying the energies of all the planetary alignments that are going on right now. Additionally, when we look at snow transforms. That's like the nature of it. So it helps bring in that same energy. So you want to go ahead and you can use that in your bath. You can use it on your floor wash. You can use the snow and use the elements that we have around us to help bring in that transformational energy into your home and into your everyday life. So that way you help and assist in these things that are happening energetically. Okay. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing. She's being grumpy girl. Okay, Winter. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing that I love to do. I like to collect rainwater. This snow in particular is pretty special because it was in the middle of a blizzard, and blizzards don't happen often. And it was also during the eclipse. So these are just two rare occasions that also happened at the same time. It happened at the same time. So it just shows you, you know, you can use these things and use these energies and put it into your workings. Okay, so I hope this was beneficial for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. This is a great time for us to work on our communication. This is a great time for us to make sure that we're communicating in our authentic way and not in a way that helps pacify other people. It's so needed. We all have a medicine to go ahead and give to people and to help raise humanity, and that responsibility is on big time right now because we are co-creating an entire new world. We see it happening around us. So it's a responsibility for us to go ahead and live in our truth, live in our purpose, go ahead and do your thing, tap in, figure out what your soul needs, because the rest of us need it also. All right. So I hope this was beneficial to you guys. Beneficial. Yeah, I said that right. I hope this was beneficial to you guys. As usual, this was fun. This was great. And I'll talk to you guys the next time.
Low bass, fat, baby, tap in. Tap, tap, tap in.